Hello and welcome to Rarely Rad. It is Haleigh and we are in person because I am in New York. I flew in this morning. I'm technically here for work, but I flew in a few days early. And last time I was here, I never came to your place. So I'm coming a week before they're moving out of it, but at least I'm seeing it. I walked in and Austin was home from his lunch break and he was just sitting on the couch. And so I sat down and I was like, so thanks for the tour. And he's like, yeah, you've seen it all. It's basically, if you are watching on YouTube or I guess on Spotify, if we have the video up, that's it. And there's a bedroom, but it's a bed. There's not anything else in there. But it works.
It's really hard to find like a full one bedroom in New York. Everything's like studio.
Oh, I believe it. This is considered a one bedroom though, right?
This is a full one bedroom.
Well, and your new place that you moved to in like a week is 2.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
And the same price as this.
Which is good. Something I didn't realize that we were talking about earlier, I didn't realize that like year leases wasn't really a thing in New York.
It's not that it's not a thing. They just seem to be more difficult to find. Or not find, but just like locked down. My friend has a 5-month lease. Some people, and I mean, the thing with the 12-month lease is some of them will want like $12,000 and like, I'm not dropping $12,000.
No.
And it's like, that's like the broker's fee plus 1 month's rent plus the rent. So like it's just easier to find something shorter where you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But do you lose money in the long run then?
I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. Like ours is furnished. So if you're having to pay for movers every few months,
True.
like, yeah, you're probably losing money.
True. Yeah, well, Austin was like, are you going to come like when we have our new place, like the 2-bedroom? And I was like, yeah, like I planned on it at some point, like thinking that they're going to be there for a year. And he was like, yeah, we'll be there until January 5th. And it was like, of like 2026. Like, I'm not understanding. And he was like, no, this upcoming January. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
We're going to see if they'll let us do like a month-to-month type of thing afterwards, if they have like tenants moving in right after, if they've got like a couple months space in between. It's just, you're not going to find out until very last minute because some places are up, posted 3 hours later, it's like gone.
That makes sense. I also realized when coming here, your hair is a lot pinker in person than it is on any photos or videos.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't like photo pink. Like it looks like there's like a tint of, it doesn't even really look pink.
No.
Like if you know it's pink, you can see like a slight tint, but like it's a lot more pink.
It's a lot more pink in person. Not like super pink, but like someone in person would be like, oh, she has like pinkish hair.
I think it's like a good amount of pink.
It's a low-key pink. It's not like a my hair's pink, scream in your face type of thing. But
I
yeah,
look like I have like 500 tattoos and work at a coffee shop.
Even like via Snapchat though, I hadn't noticed. Which also, our Snapchat is now over 9 years.
Yeah.
Our streak.
Happy birthday.
We're almost.
I think it's been over 9 years. I think we're almost at 10.
No, we just hit a little bit over 9 because I looked it up like maybe 2 weeks ago or something, and we were like 9 and some change.
Oh, okay. One thing, I was talking to my coworker, and she was like, oh, my son-in-law drives a white Ford Escape. I drive a Ford Escape. It's a girl car, let alone being white. That is a girl car.
Yeah, that's a girl car.
And she's like, I've never heard of that. I was like, it's a universal law that white cars are girl cars. Like,
I don't know. I think it depends on the car.
If you have a Volkswagen and it's white, that's a girl. That's a girl. I mean, and so anyway, I did a poll
on your Twitter?
On my Twitter, because she was like, I've never heard this. And then she sent me a screenshot on Instagram being like, oh, this white car thing.
So it's actually a thing.
Yeah. So I should have worded it, but I wish I would have worded it like if you drive a white car or have once driven a white car, though.
What gender are you?
Like I put, if you're a girl, do you drive a white car? I should have put, if you're a girl, do you drive a white car or have you ever driven a white car? Currently, and think about it this way, I'm just thinking about it like from the 5 other basic colors, which is red, black, silver, gray, and blue. Those are like the standard colors. 70% of people drive those 5 plus other colors, and then 30% of women drive a white car, which is out of 113 people. And then there's a bunch of people. I've had 6 white cars, but currently have a blue one, and she's not calculated into that. Then this girl who's like, oh, I want to drive a white car. Other people, yeah, I have driven a white car. But so basically, over 30% of women drive white cars, aka a white car is a girl car. Also, a Ford Escape is a girl car. I know because I own this car.
I would say a Ford Escape is a girl car, period.
Yeah.
Like, that car is a girl. I mean, it's like a Beetle. You saw a boy get out of a Beetle, that is not straight.
I don't even think he's gay because a gay guy knows better. Like, that's a girl.
They're transitioning. I'm trying to think of, like, guys I know. The only one I can think of that does have a white car. P.
Exactly. Girl car. And I asked my coworker, and she was like, I was like, well, what color car do you drive then? She's like, it's white. I was like, exactly. It's a girl car. And she's like, I think the thing in like places like Utah where it snows, people do white cars because when the snow gets on it, it doesn't look as dirty. You can't see it. But I was like, yeah, but what happens when it gets like mushy?
Yeah, and like brown.
Yeah. And she just like laughed. And I was like, no, but like, I'm actually curious.
I don't think people buy cars based off of like you not seeing snow on it.
I bought my gray silver car because it doesn't look as dirty as like a white car. Like I'm saying, like they do it like based because it's not going to look as dirty during X season.
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
For silver car, gray cars, like they look less dirty than like a white car or even a black car can look dirty quickly.
Yeah, black can. When I had my yellow car, that would look dirty pretty quickly.
Orange boy, he crushed it. Like,
yeah, but how long did you even have that car?
2 years.
Okay.
I got washed once. That's my Austin. He was like Sarah's night.
Yeah, right now my car's like that in the middle of where I don't know if it's silver or blue. It's like such a light blue that some things come up and say it's silver, and then some things come up and say it's blue.
Right.
So I just kind of choose whatever I'm feeling in the moment. Like when I'm doing like those like app parking stuff or whatever, and you have to like put in your car info, or like the Chick-fil-A drive-through, I have to put in what type of car. I'm like, right now I'm feeling silver.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Out of every other color in the world, 30%. That's like about.
That's a lot.
That means like about. It's like for like I said, 5 standard colors. That's about 12% of 5 other colors.
Yeah.
Which in reality, it's more because other people drive green car, yellow car.
Yeah.
You know, those brown, gold. You know, there's so many other colors. But yeah, in conclusion, white cars, girl cars. One thing I also wanted to discuss. I've been doing a lot of observing at airports, and I have noticed that the amount of wheelchairs to the plane is significantly larger than the amount of wheelchairs that get off the plane.
Because they want to get on first.
Yeah, wheelchair fraud.
Are you allowed to do that? Like, are you allowed to wheelchair on and not wheelchair off?
Yeah, you request.
Interesting.
So they just don't request it on off. Like, obviously some people like need it, but yeah, a lot of wheelchair fraud out there.
I believe it. Even the other day, Burnett and we went to get Mexican for lunch. I was parking and this one car was just like watching me park. And I was in the last spot in the lot. So I was like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, okay. And then they pull up and they're driving one of those like tiny cars. It wasn't a smart car, but it was freaking tiny. And pulls into this handicap spot. And then she gets out and it's like a girl our age, like moving like we do and everything. And we were just like, I don't think you need that. Like and then we get in there. She was either meeting like her older dad or like could have even met her grandpa. It was definitely an older man that she was meeting. And I was like, I bet it's his. And he gave her one so she can just park in handicap.
That's shitty.
It's just, I feel bad because like, what if someone actually needs that?
Yeah, I saw a picture on Instagram and somebody used the handicap stall and then they like.
Oh, that's one of my worst fears because sometimes I go in the handicap stall. And I'm like,
if it's the only one open, like, and there's a line, like, I'm not gonna not.
I just or like if I'm changing or something, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go in it. But then I just have this thought, and I'm like, if I come out and there's like someone in a wheelchair waiting for me,
oh no,
I'm gonna like offer to wipe their butt.
This was somebody in a wheelchair in the non-handicap stall. Like that's how bad they had to go. Yeah, that's.
I mean, that would have been you or me.
Yeah, they took a picture of like the wheels. They're like, oh my god, it should not be this way. Today we're going to Jets game.
Yeah, we still don't have tickets, but I've been watching them.
We're trying to figure out how to get there.
Yeah, apparently there's no easy subway route to the MetLife Stadium,
which is weird.
I guess like the only way I can put it into perspective for me mentally is like the Braves Stadium, you can't MARTA to it. And that was why everyone was so livid of when they built this new Brave Stadium because there's no public transportation to get to it.
Is this a new stadium, MetLife?
No, but I have no idea.
Basically, what we're gonna do is get to.
We're
on the
hoping
New
to get to
Jersey,
Penn Station, New Jersey
and then just
transit
follow everybody with the
and
jersey.
see people in jerseys. That's exactly what we did though at SantaCon when I came up here.
One question: do you celebrate Christmas with your family every year?
Yes.
I think this year I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. Well, I will clarify. Not every year. I didn't go home 2 years ago for it. I just stayed in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Hot take. I don't love Christmas.
See, Christmas is the only thing we celebrate. Like, we don't do Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I don't like Thanksgiving. I don't like the Thanksgiving food other than mac and cheese.
Yeah, I love Thanksgiving, but we don't do Thanksgiving food really. Like, yeah, we will have like turkey. I don't eat that. But we have like lasagna and pepperoni bread and sausage bread. What the heck?
We got special guest Biff here.
Getting kicked. I enjoy that part of Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, I don't like lasagna. Austin's parents will do lasagna, and I don't like lasagna.
That's interesting.
I don't like tomatoes.
Do they put full tomatoes in it, or just like even like sauce?
I don't even like tomato sauce.
So you won't even eat like a pizza with a red sauce?
I will, but I'm always like light sauce, just because that gets like kind of dry. But generally, I do like a white Blanco, like I thought the pizza sandwiches.
I mean, we ate a lot of tomatoes in Europe.
Yeah, and I didn't eat them. It kind of feels like I ate those. Like, I feel like they don't taste like it's fresh, so it doesn't feel as bad. And I've gotten to the point where I can a tomato, like if it's on a burger, like I'll just like take it off.
Yeah.
Like, ideally order it without, but I'll just like take it off.
I was also, since I'm up here for this trade show, this is the trade show I came to New York for and then I flew straight from this trade show to Europe when we went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, should just get it shipped. Don't turn around and get the shipping on the work card. And he said, okay.
So honestly, this fantasy season has been unpredictable to say the least.
It's the worst. I'm already 1-1. My team did absolutely nothing last week.
Yeah, the only reason I think I won, I mean, I did score pretty well, but my opponent didn't play somebody. But this week I have 3 people questionable and 1 on D, which is doubtful. I've never seen that before.
1 on the D.
So I'm like, really, like in their little paragraph where it describes like what the issue is, it's like very unpredictable. Like, I can't read it. It sounds like they might, but it also might not. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to like drop people that are obviously going to be fine in like 2 weeks that are good players.
Yeah.
And then pick up some, like, to lose and pick up some bullshit player.
Yeah, I had a player get hurt in warmups. And so he was already on, and so like he just immediately went out, and I was too late for me to change it, so he got 0 points. And then since I have Waddle and Hill and Tua died out on the field, they did absolutely nothing either. Oh, and then my quarterback threw 3 interceptions.
I thought LB had Tua.
Yes, she does. And I have his 2 wide receivers.
Oh, okay.
So
Tua quarterback?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So he throws the ball to them. So for them to get any points, they have to be throwing the ball. And he couldn't throw because he was dead.
What is his first name? Tariq?
No, his first name's Tua.
Oh, what's his last name?
Tagliavolia.
Oh, yeah, I knew it was like something weird with a T.
What's his first name? Yeah, no,
He's like the only one that goes by his first name other than like Travis Kelce these days.
Yeah, LeBron, I guess LeBron James. I mean,
LeBron.
obviously that's a different sport.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Let me
football.
clarify.
I thought you were talking about LeBron Jackson for a second.
Yeah, because like Tom Brady always went by Brady.
Gronkowski.
Yeah, Mahomes. It's probably because no one can really say to his last name, honestly.
Also, it's also kind of a unique first name that could be like a last name.
Well, you just thought it was.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
well, it's also such a unique name that I doubt could be wrong, but I doubt there's any other players even in the NFL with the first name Tua.
I don't think there are.
So it's not like
Smith.
Yeah, like it's not a casual Michael, like
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's unique enough to where like it can just go by a first name, and probably will be only Tua for a while in the NFL until maybe someone is like obsessed with him and names their kid after him.
Have you seen the college football player that's obsessed with Patrick Mahomes?
No, I don't watch sports.
So Patrick Mahomes, you know what he looks like, right?
Yeah.
He like plays with Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I did know that.
And he has like a very specific, like, obviously look, but then like game time warm up where he like comes out, counterpoints to the crowd. He always does one like high jump, like with his knee, like tucking his knees.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. He also like, he's one of the best quarterbacks we have right now. And so he like has his own unique style of quarterbacking, playing the position.
Yeah.
Throws to the side a lot, like whatever. There's a college football player. He plays on a red team too, which is just like the Chiefs, that looks just like him, plays just like him, and warms up just like him.
It's getting weird.
That's where everyone's kind of like everyone at first was like, all right, I get it. Like, he's your inspiration. But now it's like,
now it's weird. Like, it'd be one thing if he did it like once in a while, like for laughs and giggles. But it's like,
I'm almost like, is this like a glitch in the simulation where like two of the same person were created?
It kind of reminds me of those like we went to a concert. Okay, jeez,
what the hell?
We went to a concert a few months ago, and before that, there was this girl singing Taylor Swift covers, and she looked very, very similar to Taylor Swift, dressed like her. And I'm just kind of like, this is weird.
Yeah. Like, are you
like
trying to be that
person?
If
you want to do Taylor Swift covers, go for it. But like, now you're dressed. It was that standard like the blue and white striped shirt that she wears with the bright red lipstick and like that look that she used to do a lot. Why are you kicking so much?
Just a baby.
Just a baby. Yeah, I'm like, I don't get that.
It's just like, there's already Taylor Swift out in the world. Be your own person.
That's why I think a lot of certain people like don't get famous. Like, they'll be amazing
because
singers.
They're trying too hard to be someone else that already exists.
Exactly. They're like, oh, we were out at Washington Square Park a couple weeks ago, and this girl was singing. She had a beautiful voice. The park people were like, you don't have a license. And also was like, hey, I think you're a great singer. And her dad was like, doesn't she sing like Lady Gaga? First of all, she didn't at all. Like, we were like, yeah, and like, no, like, and then second of all, it's like, you're not going to become famous if you sound like somebody else. There's already somebody that sounds like Lady Gaga, aka Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
You're not like, you have to have a unique voice. Like Billie Eilish, I feel like she kind of blew up out of nowhere. Her voice is very unique.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know,
just even I think outside of the performer and like sports life, but even like the influencer life and stuff, where people want to become an influencer and then they just copy what other influencers are doing, and it's like those people are already doing that, so their people are following them. You do what you are passionate about and like your fashion and everything. Do you remember, this was now like, I want to say like 6 years ago, when every single influencer was doing the Nordstrom sale, and it was like everywhere, and it's all they talked about for like 3 weeks, because like there was super early access, and then there's early access, and then there's normal access for the public, and like every single one was like talking about buying the same like 6 things, and it got so inundated. Notice a lot of influencers really don't talk about it, and I think it's because they got feedback from people like us that was like, this was a lot.
I mean, 1 or 2 people should still do it. Like, people still follow that, but I feel like now,
if you're a Nordstrom shopper, share it. But it's weird if you're like specialized in like the Amazon and the dupes and all that, and then all of a sudden it's like Nordstrom sale week, and you're like shoving Nordstrom down someone's throat.
I have like mixed feelings about the Amazon ones, because like there's so many options on there for Amazon, but also like and they're not very expensive, so like in that sense it's good, but it's like I want to like know about other stores. I feel like there's like 5 stores that people shop from. Like, what about, it'd be cool to like market like a little boutique and like represent that, like instead of like, what is it always, it's like Abercrombie these days, Amazon.
I think the biggest difficulty there is, I know like Krista Horton, she'll talk about lots of small shops. One, that's how she got started, so I think she kind of likes it, like give back to those. But the best way for her then to get any credit for that, I would say, is they have to use her code.
Right.
Whereas like the Abercrombies and all of those, they can just, they, meaning influencers, can like or link everything through like to know it.
Yeah.
And that's when they get their commission right then and there.
Right.
most small stores and even some larger stores aren't compatible with like to know it.
I totally get that. I think, but if you're like a huge influencer, like, does it really hurt you to just do something? I feel like the pink lilies, like, people get promo codes for that, but that's so girly, like, very girly. Dude, you're so active today.
Are you comfortable? She just keeps wiggling her whole body.
She never does this, right, Pipperton? I did the boop it, twist it thing with her. It was a wreck. I'll post it on our TikTok and Instagram. It was a mess.
It didn't work.
No. She was like, ah.
I believe it. She's a special girl.
Twist. I can't remember what we were saying.
I don't either.
Oh, we're talking about boutiques.
Shopping. Meanwhile, I just got a huge package in from Shein. You know, supporting small business.
China. Oh, speaking of, there's like the port people, like the shipping people, like that. They're protesting right now. So I don't know, like, things from China are gonna get.
When do they start protesting?
I think sometime this week. I was talking to my coworker, and she, like, I guess that's like a huge thing in Utah or something. I don't know, but she was telling me that's like, she was telling me about that. And also Tupperware, which I thought was not even a company anymore, went out of business, or they filed for bankruptcy. Also, so you know how people used to go to Tupperware parties? Yeah. I thought that was code for sex toy party. I didn't realize that was.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What the?
I didn't realize that people were actually selling Tupperware.
Yes.
I thought it was code for sex toy.
No. Tupperware's like.
And people would go to like other people's houses and be like, yeah, try this dildo. Like, it's great.
Oh my God.
Somebody told me that once, and then I was like, oh,
in what, like 6th grade?
No, this was like sometime in college. They're like, because I didn't do that. Like, my parents didn't do
you
that
didn't
stuff.
Do sex toy?
No, Tupperware stuff. Like, my parents didn't go to Tupperware parties. Like, that's weird. Like, it's not a thing in Europe, so like, they're not going to start now. Who the fuck wants to buy Tupperware from a friend?
It's like going to like a Mary Kay party.
Yeah, I know that. Like, but I thought it was like for sex toys, and like they were just trying to hide it and like not make it, because this was before like online.
That would have been
like
even weirder than selling Tupperware.
I mean, probably that's why I thought a lot of people didn't go, because it was like, oh, like, who made that many sex toys?
Oh, you went to the last one? You must be really active.
Yeah, well, I thought it was like sex toys, like lingerie, like, I don't know, stuff.
And how did you find out that it wasn't?
My coworker told me, and then I asked her, I was like, wait, I thought that was code for sex toy. And she was like, I mean, maybe.
No, it's not.
And I was like, what?
Do you think Mary Kay parties are actually like people selling weed? And it's
no,
Mary
I knew
Jane.
What Mary Kay parties were. Like, I think I knew somebody that did one. Yeah.
You're like, oh, so you guys are actually selling weed and edibles and stuff. You're just calling it makeup. Okay.
Well, they'll do like facials and stuff. Yeah, I didn't realize that was like a thing. Somebody told me that they were having a Tupperware. This is the reason I found out about it, because I'd never heard of it before until college. And somebody said they were having a Tupperware party, and I was like, oh, in like this day and age? And they're like, well, it's code for sex toys. And since I never talked about it again, it was, it's not something that comes up in regular.
Maybe theirs was.
Yeah, because they were like, so then I've just always, since like, and like I said, it's not something that comes up in regular conversation. So then I was like, oh, that's what they are.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all. I went on a date this week. Won't be seeing that guy again. I met him via Hinge, and we have really, really good banter via messaging. And then like when you match with someone and then you don't go look at their profile again, and then you start talking, and you're like, oh, like, this person's cool. And then I committed to a date and then went back and looked at him, and I was like, probably should have never even matched with this guy. That's where I was. But I had already committed, so I felt weird canceling. So I went on it anyway. Got there. He's over 700 days sober. Congrats to him. I think I would be a complete red flag. He also is sober because his nickname used to be Big Black. And that's because he is a big guy. He is 6'5", and he used to weigh a lot. He was like lineman on a football team, like in high school. He said he never played. He was a bench warmer. But side point, that was his position on the team. And he used to black out all the time. So that's why his nickname was Big Black. And he lives at home with his parents, all the way in Macon, Georgia.
Which is far from Atlanta.
Yeah, not close to Atlanta. Like, a little bit over an hour, so, like, not awful, but not someone I'm saying. Oh, and did I mention that he lives with his parents?
You just said that we're talking about
Okay.
to Macon.
Okay, well, I didn't know if I just said he doesn't live close. He doesn't live close, and it's with his parents. Yeah, so I think we both felt the same way, where we won't be seeing each other. I was like, he knew I was leaving town, like, this week, and so I was like, I'll let you know when I get back. But he didn't say anything after that. I'm surely not saying anything after that. He's also a scary UGA fan, where he's going to all 12 games this season. And I even told him on the date, I said, I think that's a red flag. I totally I understand being a big sports fan, but not all 12 games.
Yeah, the away games, like, what, are you gonna fly?
He literally drove to the Kentucky one this past week. And I'm like, red flag. You don't, like, and I mean, I guess you save money because you live with your parents, so you have the money to go to the fucking games. But yeah, so won't be seeing him again. So,
you know, speaking of breakups, I think it was my sister's friend. Let me read this message to y'all. And he went to end it with her. This is the message he sends her.
He sends the girl to break up.
Yes, he's breaking up. I mean, it's not like the date was, like, phenomenal anyway, but, like...
Wait, okay. They went on one date?
Yeah, they went on one date.
Oh, okay, so they're not breaking up. They're just, like...
But it was, like, Yeah, well, listen to this. You'd think it was, like... He goes, hey, so this is going to come out of left field. But 2 years ago, I had a moderate kidney disease for a short period of time before it went into remission. I noticed the same symptoms of it today and went to the doctors, and it's back. I was already unsure about our chemistry, but with the news today, I think it's best if we pause the dating in general and focus on getting over this again. Sorry, that's probably not what you wanted to hear. Like, a whole kidney disease excuse?
And they went on one date?
Yeah. Just be like, literally, he was like, mentions that he was like unsure about it already. Just say that. This kid made up a whole kidney disease.
You think he didn't have a kidney disease?
I mean, he might have, but, like, that's, like, his whole excuse.
It's just
2 dates, actually.
It's just weird. Why does it even need to be that deep?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he, like, went into, like, a whole thing, be like, hey, they've been on 2 dates. It's not, like, a breakup. Ugh.
No.
Like, it's just,
hey,
like,
you could even say I have some things going on in my personal life, and I have to put dating on a hold.
Yeah, exactly.
It was nice going on dates with you.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting you.
Like, this whole kidney disease excuse is insane.
That's psychotic.
Yeah.
It's just too much. I think it's too much. Like, you're giving me way too many details that I didn't ask for.
Yeah, especially for 2 dates. Like, if y'all have been talking for a long time, even then, I don't know, it's still a weird way to end it. Like,
I think you would need to be seeing each other for, like, at least 2 months.
And then it's like at least a phone. I don't know. It depends on, I guess, I don't know. Either way.
Well, and that just kind of, I would say, like, if I received that text, it would just leave me with questions.
Yeah.
Like, are you dying?
Well, I don't think she ended up responding. I mean, what do you say back?
Yeah, like,
thumbs up.
Hope you make it.
Hope you feel better. Like, hope you stay alive. Like, what?
Yeah. I want to know what to say. I think that's why, like, this boy and I, Big Black and I think we'll just never say anything to each other.
But I think that's normal. Even after 2 dates, people kind of ghost after 2 dates.
Yeah, I agree.
And if he's saying that both of them weren't really feeling it, like, then just leave it at that. Just don't ask.
Then let it dwindle out on its own.
Exactly.
Like, that's what I was gonna do. Even if this guy did text me, I was gonna start responding slower, not giving as much effort, not asking questions back. And then it just eventually would stop.
Exactly. Like, people get the hint.
Yeah, I will say, this week I updated my phone to iOS 18. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we can now schedule text, game changer.
I gotta figure out how to do that. I had to delete so many things to be able to download it. My phone completely crashed on Sunday, and Austin wasn't with me, so I had to text. Thank goodness I remember his phone number. I had to text him off of my friend's phone and be like, how do I restart my phone? And it's not really... like, that I need to have my phone. I do need to get on and off the subway because I only bring Apple Pay, and I need a GPS. Like, I don't care about not being able to text my friends back for a couple of hours, like, whatever. But I do need that. So we were sitting there for like 10 minutes because it's like up, down, up, this button.
Well, at least you know it now.
Yeah, but and then it did the whole thing today. I just need a new phone, like, because that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be in trouble. Something's gonna be going wrong, and I'll be like, oh wait, my phone is freezing up. You came and tracked me on Find My Friends. Like, this isn't Charlotte. We're not safe here.
I don't know where I'm going. I can't get anywhere. I need my phone.
I can't even get into the building.
Yeah, I've said it before. I'm just hoping this phone makes it to Christmas.
I'm hoping this phone makes it to the end of the week and it's friggin' Thursday.
Yeah, it's just not a good phone.
It really is. And I messaged my dad because then I don't remember my dad's phone number. So
I thought that. So he's had the same phone number and you just don't know it?
Yeah. No, he didn't. He had a different one for a while because then he had a work phone, I think. I can't remember. And then he just got rid of his main phone and only really uses his work phone. And it changed. But at that point, we were at the point where we didn't have to remember people's phone numbers. And I only remember Austin's because he memorizes mine. So then I kind of like, and then I would type it out so often for like certain things. Like if I would always like book the flights, like, and then he would just, pay for it, whatever. So then I kind of just like got into habit. I remembered it. And thank God I did. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to text. And she was like, I'm very impressed by that. And I was like, yeah.
No, whenever I have a boyfriend, I usually have their number memorized, I'd say. I know my parents' phone numbers. I don't know my siblings.
My mom's and my sister's are one number off.
My parents both are.
Yeah.
So that's.
And my other sister.
But I can never remember which one's which number.
I know, I can't either.
So I'm just like, don't know which one I'm calling this time. We'll see.
I just remember one is 007, the other one is 006. And then my other sister's ends with 4204, and I only remember that because our house number is 4204.
Yeah, one is 7798 and one is 7797.
Yeah.
But which one's which? Couldn't tell you.
I also don't remember what it is before 007. I think it might be a 4.
No, I remember my parents, usually when I have a boyfriend. Right now I don't, so they're all erased from my head. I remember my home phone number growing up.
Yeah, I still remember my home phone number. Our one in Sweden was 15944.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all you had to type in?
Yeah.
I guess that's like back in the day when we didn't have to type in area codes.
Yeah. Now it's probably like more, but you didn't have to type in area codes, but which I think the area code was like 01200. Not an area code. I think that was like technically like the country code.
Oh my gosh. So this morning I took the MARTA to the airport in Atlanta, and I get on and there's like these 3 young girls, like high school age, all dressed up in like UGA attire. Like, oh, there must be a day thing. Then all of a sudden their friends get on and they're all talking, and they go to this expensive ass school in Atlanta, like $40,000 a year for high school. And I guess they're all doing a field trip going down to the airport. I don't really know. But then there's 7 girls and they all decide they're skipping.
Jeez, that was not that cool.
So they're on one train cart, and on the other train cart you can see, I guess, the school, because they're like the police officers right there. And I figured it was like a normal Atlanta police officer, but then I later realized it was actually the police officer for the school. And so then they moved to the back of my train cart. I see them get off at a random stop, so I'm like, oh, I guess like they're getting off there. No, then I see them in the airport with me, and they're like running around, like, I guess like speeding to go a different direction. One girl, her parents track her on some app because one of the girls was like, is it
Life 360?
That's what she asked. She asked, is it Life 360?
What is that? Is that just like a Find My Friends for young people?
I think so. We're like, your parents can see. I don't really know.
My parents can see me. Speaking of, do you want a twisted tea?
Yeah, we probably should. But she was like, no, it's not Life 360. It's some other app.
AKA Find My Friends.
That was my thought. I'm like, the app that we all have on the phone?
The app that Apple comes with?
Yeah, so I was like, what?
Snapchat maps?
Yeah, that's how they track her.
Yeah.
So they end up giving the phone to a random boy they go to school with. Pause. We're opening some twisted teas.
Dude, cheers. Imagine being that cool, like confident in yourself that you can just give it. Like, I would never trust some random boy in high school.
Well, and one girl was like, she clearly was the one that was like, oh, just give the phone to this guy. And I swear his name was like OJ. Like, and I was just like, what? And she was like, and the girl whose phone she's giving up, She's like, I'm not sure. And she's like, yeah, like he dates Skylar, so it's fine. I'm, I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh. But this girl that gets tracked, she is like, yeah, my parents questioned me yesterday, so I don't want to lie again today.
Yikes.
And she's like, I don't want to get caught 2 days in a row. So then
So she skipped already.
Yeah, I guess I've seen like they all skipped the day before. It's literally homecoming week. They're talking about the crazy parties that they're about to go to. One is gonna have a rapper.
Okay.
And they were like, they're gonna probably get so lit with us.
Oh my god, I thought people stopped using the word lit a long time ago. Dude,
I guess not.
Speaking of high schoolers, and I used to work at this restaurant in Charlotte years ago. I used to work with some people from high school, and they're like horny guys. They're like 17, 18, whatever.
They think they have a chance for like a 20-year-old.
So this girl comes in, and you can look at her and you're like, she's a little scandalous. She's wearing like a very low cut shirt, push up bra out the wazoo. And then she walks up to them kind of flirty. She's like, oh, can I charge my phone here? And they're like, okay. And then they're like, oh, I'm just going to leave it unlocked. Weird, right? And so them being
with guys, what? Like your camera
them being
album
guys,
open?
Yes, album open. And it's just like 50, 60 like nudes, like her covered in like a sheet or like her hiding behind like the curtains. But like just straight up.
How old was she?
She was older than them. I want to say she might have been like 22. Like old enough to not be hitting on a 17-year-old.
Old enough to not better. Do that.
Yeah. Like she might have been a little younger than 22, but like either way, they're 17, 18. Like if you're 20, you still like, it's still weird.
Yeah, that's odd. That just reminds me of in college.
And like she obviously wanted them to go through her phone.
Yeah, that's obviously. Oh yeah, if you're leaving your phone unlocked, and then like with the whole album, you planned this, you wanted this. But in college, my old phone, it would just like turn off. It could be at like 95%, and it would just turn off. So I always had a charger with me because if I plugged it back in, it would turn back on and be at 95% again. And I remember it was a game day, and my best friend in college, she worked on game days because she worked at the stadium's bars. So it was kind of usually me figuring out things on my own. And so we did like a full game day, and then two of my guy friends were going out to this one bar called Recess. It's a rooftop bar with a pool and stuff. One was working. He was a bouncer. And then the other one was like into me, but I wasn't into him at all. The three of us go, and the other one starts working, the one that like I actually enjoyed being around. And then the other one just like kept trying to like be with me. And I was like, I'm not doing all this. So I leave and go to the bar downstairs, Madso, which is like, I don't want to say an older person bar, but it's not like freshman, sophomore college bar.
Yeah.
This is going to be like, you're at least 21 to go to this place. Adults, whatever. So I get in line to go in because they have outlets. So I'm going to plug in my phone so I can try and get damn home. So I'm in line and I meet it's two guys and one woman, and they're all like older. Like I would say at this point, probably mid to upper 30s. But again, I'm like 21.
Yeah.
So they're much older than me at the time. And for some reason in line, I tell them it's my birthday. And they're like, oh my God. I guess I do that all the time.
I was just gonna think, did you do it to that coach?
Yeah, I guess in Charlotte. So. I guess so. I guess I do that all the time. I don't really know, but
we did it the other day, and we got free drinks at the bar. We said Austin was like, "It's my birthday," but he had said it jokingly. I thought it was a joke, and then they brought us free drinks.
Yeah, well, Lindsay's been doing it since it technically basically is my birthday. So all of our reservations this upcoming week, they all are like celebrating Haley's birthday because this is kind of like a birthday trip. So we go in, and of course the bouncer's checking my ID, and they're like, "It's her birthday." He's looking at my ID. He can totally tell it's not my fucking birthday.
Yeah.
They're like screaming it, whatever, and they're like, "We'll get you a drink," and I'm like charging my phone. Then we end up going. I'm at that bar with them the whole night. Then we end up going to another bar, and we're there so long that the first bar I was at closes. My friend that's a bouncer leaves and walks by, and he's like, "Hey, are you good? Because here I am with this one woman, two older guys, all older." I'm like, "I'm so good." And he was like, "Okay," because we lived in the same complex. Like, I should have just gone home with him. Hindsight. This woman ends up, and one of the women and the man were together, and the other guy, the oldest guy, was not. She ends up pulling up her whole album of him and hers nudes
What?
with costumes, wigs, everything. And like I think they wanted me involved.
I was gonna say, is this some swinger stuff?
No, I don't. It's so interesting. I definitely think they wanted me involved. I ended up allowing them to drive me home or like drop me off in their Uber home, which crazy that I got home and they allowed me to leave. And then one of them, I think they added me on Facebook. The woman did, because she then sent me a message that night and a friend request. And in the morning, she was like, she sent me another message that said something like, "Oh my gosh, my sneaky husband was clearly feeling you last night
Ew.
and wanted to reach out and see what you were doing. That little dirty bastard.
Ew.
Anyway, happy birthday, Haleigh." Didn't even pronounce my name right.
Oh my god.
I still have those messages in my message request, and I still have the friend request sitting there too, just because I'm like, I just have to let this sit.
Yeah.
But the couple seems to be still together.
Good for them. Swingers are more acceptable these days than they used to be. I have one more story before we wrap it up, only because I'm getting blown up at work, because I'm still technically working. So Austin's old roommate went to like Key West. They were in Key West for some fraternity thing. I think they were in the same fraternity. And there's this bar in Key West. I think it's like a naked bar. It's like the Adam and Eve bar.
Oh yeah, well, it's a rooftop bar.
Yeah.
And it's topless.
That's what it is.
And you can't see that it's topless from the ground.
Yeah, and so if you like, but yeah, so there's whatever. I guess he was there or something. I don't know. Maybe even the lower part, because the lower part you wear clothes.
Yep.
He ended up having sex with this guy's wife, and the guy was just watching, and that was like
at the bar, or did they go back to the place?
No, it was like on the balcony or like the porch or something.
Like,
of
it
the
was
bar?
Like,
yeah, like it was outside, and the husband was just like watching, and that I guess that's like their thing.
It'll never be me. I just could never. I mean, remember my ex-friend that's now in our fantasy league that you just beat last week?
Yeah.
Her and her husband used to do things.
My friend got a text from one of her friends a couple years ago. I remember because I was with her and she was like, this is weird. Her friend was like, hey, like, can I just watch you and my boyfriend have sex? She's like, I'm so sorry. I know this is weird, but like, I'm really into it. Like this whole thing. And she was like, I don't really know. Like, I'll think about it.
No, this girl that I used to be friends with, they used to do like threesomes, and it was usually with another girl. And then other times she'd go out to bars and like bring home guys, and she'd go home with the guy. It would never be two guys, one girl. And then she'd be like, well, now he has a get away with it card too. And so like he'll go on his work trip and hook up with someone or
that
something.
Was like they had like a basically open relationship.
And he is also one of the most horribly awkward people to ever exist.
So he probably wasn't getting laid without her.
I don't know. He was so odd and weird. Like when we used to go over there with long-term ex and like do dinners, long-term ex was literally like, why do we have to go hang out with this couple? Because this guy freaking sucks. And I was like, yeah, I know he does, but at least the girl's normal. And then one day I finally told her that he sucks. And it's basically why we're not really friends anymore. And other reasons. But then shortly after, they got divorced. And he's apparently now gay.
Oh, well then there you go.
So we're like, so
and
this all
girls?
makes sense. I have no idea.
I feel like she must have known he was gay. That's why she was like, oh, go on your work trips. Or maybe she was just saying it was two girls because she didn't want to be like,
they're also from California. So I think she was like, yeah, like I'll do things with girls.
No, yeah, Californians are very sexually open.
Yeah. And so,
is that why Austin wants to move to California? Just kidding.
Probably.
Anyway, I gotta wrap this up. I got 2 messages from work. They want me to do stuff.
And then
I gotta get ready for this game.
We're gonna go to the Jets game.
Bye.
Bye.